Happy Monday, friends. I believe I had successfully completed my first live. Um, the lighting was good, the sound was good. It is like 2 hours and 45 minutes, I believe. And we didn't even get to all of the slides. I really believe that we wasn't going to have enough to talk about because my husband is a man of few words, except I wasn't anticipating a variable that I did not add to my hypothesis, which is alcohol. So he is real conversational, drinking some Angel's Envy, and we were able to talk. Actually, we could have kept going, but I started shaking. I tried to hide it as much as possible. I started shaking because I was hungry. And I guess the drinking and the juice, I was having a sugar crash because I don't necessarily feel hunger pains. Not even necessarily, I don't feel hunger pains because that part of the stomach that sends the signal to the brain is removed. So I have to eat on a schedule, and if I don't, my body will signal me that I'm hungry. So I I mean, like, it was enough material to at least do another hour and a half, really. But I was getting real hungry, so it's a lot of good information. After being with someone for 13 years, I was still learning stuff that I didn't know about him, which is nice. I think it's a really good conversation to have with your spouse, especially if you guys are long term. Like, if you guys have been together, I want to say more than 10 years, because there's still like a learning period where, 10 years is not really 10 years. You guys are working, you guys are apart. You're not really spending 10 years of quality time interacting with a person. So 10 years condensed it's a very small amount of time. Like, you hear 10 years and you think that's a long time, but if you guys are not around each other 24/7, if you guys don't run a business together, if y'all not set up like Bob's Burgers, 10 years is really nothing. So there was still stuff I was learning about him, which was nice. Our recollection of events was funny. Our perspective on the same situation, let me just say that, the way he saw a situation versus the way I saw a situation, it was very nice. It was nice talking to him. There were some questions that he felt that he shouldn't have answered to protect me, and I was like, go ahead. And then he said, we're gonna fight after this, and I was like, all right, just drop it, I got enough content. We did not discuss that after. We have kids, so we had to go get our kids, and we never really talked about it. So it was nice. It was cute. I think this was a very good introduction to who I am, and to let people know that my perspective on life and my views come from very different situations of my life, and they don't necessarily mesh into a cohesive ball. Um, and that I literally have these different perspectives on the world based on my situation. Like, I am a very scratch that. I have a very traditional home life. It's extremely cut out of the same cloth, snippet out of a 1950 Good Housekeeping, How to Treat Your Husband, minus the rub his feet and run him his bath water type of shit. But that's also under the perspective of a housewife. She doesn't have to work, and maybe a man who does a physical job. And I have to say, as much as it like nails on a chalkboard, if I was a stay-at-home wife and my husband had a super physical job, let's say he did construction, physical, nonstop physical, I probably would run his bath water and massage his feet. And not on, people say, oh, that's submissive, you're being a submissive wife. But one, he probably smells like a foot when he comes home from doing construction. I did a summer internship on a construction site, and the men would come in smelling like blue jeans, cologne, and by the end of the day, they smelled like ass, because we're working on a construction site in the summertime, and these men are in the ceiling and in the walls with no air, doing nonstop physical labor. Like the cologne and deodorant only took them so far, right? So their clothes were clean and pressed. You could tell they had nice wives at home. The jeans were pressed. Some of them had the line in the middle, fresh logo t-shirts of some electrical company or construction company that they got for free, but they were clean. And by the end of the day, they were covered in soot and dirt, and their boots were dirty, and they were tired. So yeah, if my husband came home like that, I probably would set up a shower for him and have the dinner ready. But if I had to work, no, that wasn't going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't have the time or the energy to do that. So my home life is very traditional, and I am a caretaker by nature, I guess. But then the another part of me is a big fat juicy feminist who is all about choices. I always say that there is no right or wrong way about how a woman is supposed to act, how a woman is supposed to be with a man. I don't believe there is a set way for a woman to be. However, if it is her choice to be a doting wife to, that's my man, I'm going to stick beside him. If that is her choice by free will, then that is what I advocate for. There are women out here who just want to be chose. And no matter how I feel about it, if that is her decision and she is doing it for her, not because of societal pressures or parental home pressure, if that is her choice and she want to be chose and be a wife, then go ahead. I knew I did not want to be a housewife. To me, that is a prison sentence, to be stuck in the house caring for children, and my brain is way too complex and complicated not to be utilized. I think I would go crazy just out of sheer boredom. Now, I do see housewives on the internet who are also content creators, and I think that is a way for them to express themselves and somehow run a business or run a content page where they are being a housewife, but they're also utilizing their talents. And that's probably a very happy medium that I'm glad the internet and social media has allowed women who normally that probably would not be their choice to be a stay-at-home mother. One of the women I watch, her name is Mama Cookie. I believe she's a white woman. Very chunky, but doing things to lose weight. I believe she has 2 children. I see another child there, but she's just way too dark to be hers. So I believe she's birthed 2 children, and her partner is Hispanic, and she does content of of cooking meals. Her meals are very time saving, very diverse. I'm not gonna say easy to do, but convenient to do. And I see her cooking from everything from Mexican, Hispanic, Spanish. I've seen her do soul food. I've seen her do traditional American foods. Her tagline is, "If you don't like it, don't bite it." I think it's the cutest thing. And her last child, which is a boy, is autistic. She's very open about it. She doesn't hide it. He's very much so, as much as he would let her, she showcases him, his achievements, his talents. She doesn't force her kids to do anything. She has another little girl. She looks about 8. Very cute. Very, very cute. I love me a chunky little girl. Um, and she showcases her, but she seems to be a bit shy. And I like that. If you want to film, film. If you don't, you don't. But I think this woman, like I said, is a stay-at-home mom based on situation. Based on situation. Sometimes when you have a child with a disability, it is just the best situation is to have a parent that does not work traditionally, because they do have a lot of appointments. There is doctor's appointments, there's early intervention, there's therapists, there's occupational speech, mental health. There's just all of these things that this kid has to get schlepped to, and to hold down a traditional 9 to 5 is just not it. And the husband has a physical job, and I think he works like some kind of farming, I believe. I think he works for a watermelon company. I think she said that before. I don't know if she's joking or she does. But anyway, when she packs his lunch, she's like, yeah, it's a lot of food because that man is outside 10 hours a day. And that's exactly what I do. I pack my husband's lunch and it's riddled in snacks because he walks about 2 to 2.5 miles a day. Just walking around. It's supposed to be a white collar job, but he does a lot of walking. But anyway, because it's like a campus, right? Like a college campus. So it's a lot of walking here, walking there, walking here, walking there. But anyway, I believe she is a woman that has to, that is her situation is that she's at home and she's very talented, very smart, very talented, so this is her outlet. This is her outlet, and this is a way for her to keep the brain juices stimulated and show off her talent. I really think that she has enough material and content and personality enough to sustain a reality show. I really do. I really do. I would love for her and her family to have a reality show similar to 1,000 Pound Sisters. Like, not, they're not white trash or anything, but that kind of format as far as 1,000 Pound Sisters, with the family and the kids and and their journey or whatever. I really do. I think she does. And she's not by any means, I don't think, um, a natural. I think she's a natural reality star in the sense of reality, not contrived. Same as 1,000 Pound Sisters. I don't think they do anything for a storyline. I think that is their real goddamn life. Their real life, their real situations. That's what I think. So, um, but anyway, um, I'm off the track. But anyway, I live a very traditional life, although that's my choice. I could sit back and really not have a traditional marriage and still be with the man I'm with, because he did not impose that on me or tell me I had to do that or anything like that. It was, here, we want to get together. I love you. I want to be with you. And I'm like, okay. And then it just naturally progressed into what it is now. And when I did my self-reflection a year ago, I said, God damn, I am Susie Homemaker, traditional marriage. And basically, I had to redefine what I believe to be a feminist for me. And the self-reflection was, it's okay. It's beyond okay. It is beyond okay to be an advocate for women, do all of this for women, and still live the life that the manosphere red pill men demand from women, and not be a quote unquote sellout. So I'm going to tie this into the interview I did with my husband, or the conversation, more like I don't know, it was more interview because I had questions, but it was definitely a conversation. So the conversation or the dialogue I have with my husband tied in with me redefining what a feminist is for me, and the Simone Biles Mr. Biles video I did a few weeks ago. So Simone um was seen in a picture wearing a bejeweled sports jacket that said Mrs. Owens and had his football number, and she was supporting her man. Now I'm trying to unlearn what I have learned and be the true objectivist I really want to be. And when I saw that initial picture, it was very cringy. Only because now I don't know what they do. I don't know what he has done because I feel like um, social media and the press is very biased, especially black media. They will really showcase certain parts of situations and not others. So I don't know if he's ever been to one of her Olympic meets where he was publicly cheering her on. So I'm not going to say he don't do that for her. I don't know. What I did see was her championing and supporting her man and self-identifying as Mrs. Owens. Now, at first, I was it cringed, it hurt, me a little bit. But then I said, it's very sweet. Now, I would never publicly self-identify as Mrs. My last name. I have my husband's name. I'm not a hyphen. I dropped my maiden name and completely took his name. I would not do that. I'm not that girl. I believe that is a very girly girl thing to do. That is something that is very normalized or showcased at bachelorette parties and bridal showers. Future Mrs. this, future Mrs. that. I think the only thing that I did that was similar to that was I got wine glasses that said Mr. and Mrs. our last name for our wedding. So we could drink it at our wedding. And then I gifted that same set to my friend that she used at her wedding with, her last name, whatever, her new last name. So I wouldn't do that, but I would wear a jacket with his name on it. I mean, his name on it. I would wear a jacket with his number, and I would put some caption like supporting my man, my man, my man, my man. I would do that. I wouldn't put Mrs. his last name on the jacket because I'm just not that girl. I don't. I identify as Mrs. for legal purposes pretty much only, and I did take his name because I said if we eventually had children, I like it if we are all in the same house with the same name. I like that for me and mine. Especially, and then I've worked in the school system and I have seen the paperwork and documentation and stuff that you need to pick up a kid if you guys don't have the same name, especially with passports and traveling. It's just logistically and legally, it is easy. That is the country that we live in. As far as marriage is still uphold over shacking up and having kids with different names. Fine. But whatever. I like the fact that if we had kids, we all in the same house with the same name. We don't got mail coming with different names on it, right? That's for me. But I don't identify and go around talking about I'm Mrs. this, I'm Mrs. that. So you know what? I love that for you, Simone. I really do believe that finding a good man with a melanin is very hard to find in 2024. And I think if that is what you need to solidify your relationship and let the haters know. Now, do I think she would have did that normally if this situation didn't come out? No. I think that was definitely a call and response to what happened with the interview. And probably if I was in that situation, I would adorn his last name. Like, we together, that's my man, my man, my man. Okay, so I think that is a call and response. I think it was a very cheeky move. It was very cute. Do I think she's going around talking about, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Mrs. Owens? Hi, nice to meet you, my name is Mrs. Owens? No, I think she's like, hi, nice to meet you, my name is Simone. That's really what I think. I think she has not lost herself because of her marriage, and I don't think she has thrown away everything to become Mrs. Owens. No, the woman is still competing, still training, still, being the athlete that she is and was when they got together. And he seems to be coming up in the ranks as well. Um, he seems to be coming up as far as the football ranks and his team and everything. And it looks like everything is coming together and they seem happy. And like I said before, um, two athletes coming together and making a baby, what the hell could go wrong? And I think they're cute. I think they're very cute together. And, Simone, if you like it, I love it. I will never say that you got to divorce him or that's stupid. That's stupid. And the women going around saying you should divorce him because that's what he said. That's stupid and bitter. And I don't agree with that at all.